Welcome back to Golden Wellness 365, where growing older doesn't mean giving up control. It means learning how to use it wisely. Let me ask you something. How does your morning usually begin? You open your eyes. The clock says 6:42. You sit up. You feel a bit stiff, maybe a little dry in the mouth. The house is still. You reach for your phone. Maybe scroll through some emails. Read the headlines. You skip breakfast. Coffee will do. The day has started. It all feels normal, familiar. But what if I told you that this exact routine, something millions of Americans do every single morning, might quietly be raising your risk of stroke? You see, new research has uncovered something startling. The first 90 minutes of your day, those quiet, automatic moments right after waking, can either protect your brain and your heart or leave them more vulnerable than you think. In fact, a massive national health survey found that older adults who failed to hydrate in the morning had up to a 25% higher risk of stroke compared to those who did. That's not theory. That's science. But hydration is just the beginning. Because here's the truth. Most people over 60 unknowingly do 5 simple things before 9 a.m. that disrupt circulation, increase blood pressure, and leave their brain undersupplied with oxygen every single day. And these aren't extreme choices. They're small habits, like standing up too quickly, or checking your phone too soon, or sipping coffee on an empty stomach. They don't hurt right away, but over time, they chip away at your body's resilience, especially when your arteries are aging and your nervous system is less forgiving. Now, imagine this. Instead of letting those habits steer your morning, what if you made a few calm, intentional shifts? What if your first hour of the day became the safest hour for your heart and brain? Not the riskiest. That's what today's episode is all about. Not fear, but awareness. Not overhaul, but gentle correction. Because your health isn't built in hospitals. It's built in mornings. And if you're over 60, these moments matter more than ever. So here's the real question. If something as small as a glass of water, or how fast you sit up, can shape your brain's safety for the day, what else might you be doing that seems harmless, but quietly increases your risk? Think about it. After 60, the body changes. The arteries aren't as elastic. The nervous system takes longer to stabilize. Hormones shift. Blood flow becomes more sensitive to pressure, movement, even temperature. Yet most morning routines don't change. We move fast. We react. We try to keep pace with habits built for a younger body. But the truth is, what worked at 40 can wear us down at 70. That's why today, we're going to look at 5 morning habits, common ones, that seem harmless but may be putting strain on your brain and heart. And more importantly, I'll show you exactly what to do instead. Simple changes, practical shifts, no fancy supplements, no extreme rules, just a return to calm, steady rhythms. Because instead of rushing into the day with urgency, you can begin it with awareness. And that small shift? That's where long-term protection begins. Let's begin with the simplest one. The one almost everyone overlooks. Skipping water in the morning. Now, I know what you might be thinking. I'm just not thirsty when I wake up. That's common. But it's also misleading. You may not feel thirsty, but that doesn't mean your body isn't dehydrated. Think about it. You've just gone 7, maybe 8 hours without a sip of fluid. During sleep, your body loses water through breathing, sweating, even a little through your skin. By morning, your blood is slightly thicker. Your vessels are a little tighter, and your heart has to work harder just to push oxygen-rich blood to your brain. That might not cause problems at 30, but at 60, 70, 80, it matters. In fact, a major national study found that older adults who drank the most water had up to 25% lower risk of stroke than those who drank the least. And another long-term study showed that low hydration levels were linked to a 21% increase in early death. So this isn't just about comfort. It's about circulation. It's about oxygen. It's about protecting the very system that keeps your brain alert and your body steady. Yet millions of seniors wake up, skip water, and go straight to coffee. And that's where the problem begins. Because coffee, especially on an empty stomach, acts as a diuretic. It pulls more water from your system. It raises cortisol. It speeds the heart. And if there's no water to begin with, that's like revving a dry engine. Instead of fueling the brain, we stress it. So here's the shift. Instead of reaching for caffeine first thing, reach for a glass of room-temperature water. Just 6 to 8 ounces, not ice cold. Cold water can shock the system. Not boiling either, just comfortably warm. And for even better results, add a pinch of sea salt or a squeeze of lemon. The salt provides trace minerals. The lemon supports liver function and gentle detox. But even plain water alone is powerful. It signals to your organs, the day has begun. It thins the blood slightly. It eases vascular tension. It tells your heart, your brain, your kidneys, you're safe. Let's begin. And that message, that's the opposite of panic. It's peace. So tomorrow morning, try this. Before your feet hit the floor, before the news, before the to-do list, start with water. Because while medication has its place, your first prescription might just be a glass. Here's something that might surprise you. One of the most dangerous things you can do after waking up is stand up too fast. Sounds harmless, right? You've done it for years. Roll out of bed, get going. No big deal. But for a body over 60, that one moment, the shift from lying to standing, can become a tipping point. Let me explain. When you're asleep, your blood settles, your heart slows, your blood vessels are relaxed. That's good for rest. But the moment you rise too quickly, gravity pulls blood downward. And if your system hasn't had time to adjust, your brain might not get enough oxygen. That's when you feel lightheaded, maybe dizzy, maybe foggy. Some people call it a head rush. But that rush, it's really a signal that your nervous system is struggling to catch up. Now, for someone young and healthy, the body compensates quickly. But in older adults, with stiff arteries, slower nervous responses, or blood pressure meds in the mix, that sudden shift can be dangerous. In fact, research shows that nearly 1 in 5 adults over 60 experience what doctors call orthostatic hypotension, a sudden drop in blood pressure when standing. And studies link this to higher risks of fainting, falls, and even a 50% increase in all-cause mortality when left unchecked. That's serious. And yet, most people never hear about it. So, what's the fix? Instead of jumping up fast, give your body a moment to prepare. Here's what I teach my patients. Before you rise, roll to your side. Let your legs hang off the bed. Sit up slowly. Plant your feet. Take 2 calm breaths. Only then, stand. It might feel slow, but it's strong. Because what you're doing is giving your circulation a chance to stabilize. You're giving your brain time to receive the blood it needs. And you're telling your body, we're in control. Compare that to standing up quickly, swaying, grabbing the wall, waiting for your vision to clear. Which one feels safer? Which one feels wiser? So tomorrow morning, remember this. The first few seconds after waking are not a race. They're a negotiation with gravity. And when you rise with care, you rise with strength. Now, let me ask you something a little more personal. What's the first thing your eyes look at in the morning? For most people, it's not the ceiling or the sunrise. It's their phone. We check the time, then the notifications, maybe email, maybe headlines. And before we've even had a sip of water or taken a breath, our nervous system is already reacting. Here's why that matters. Right after waking, your brain is in a delicate transition. It's been working through the night, repairing cells, clearing waste, consolidating memory. It's been in a slower wave rhythm, calmer, focused inward. And when you suddenly feed it, alerts, noise, urgency, your body responds the only way it knows how. Stress. Cortisol rises. Heart rate increases. Blood pressure ticks upward. It's not emotional. It's physiological. And for someone over 60, that reaction isn't so easy to shrug off. With age, the vascular system becomes more sensitive to these spikes. Arteries don't relax as quickly. The nervous system takes longer to return to baseline. And repeated stress responses, especially early in the day, start to quietly wear down the brain's resilience. Now, think about the alternative. Instead of reaching for your phone, reach inward first. Sit quietly. Breathe. Sip water. Look outside. Feel the light. Stretch gently. Let your body send the first signals, not your inbox. Why? Because that one decision, delaying your phone by just 10 or 15 minutes, gives your system time to wake up naturally. It protects your brain from a cortisol spike. It allows your heart rate to rise steadily. It creates a foundation of calm, not chaos. And over time, that one change reduces cumulative stress. It improves focus. It steadies your mood. And yes, it can help lower stroke risk. We talk a lot about food and exercise, but we don't talk enough about information hygiene. What you feed your mind in the first few minutes of the day shapes how safely your body will respond to the world. So tomorrow, try this. Leave the phone face down. Give your brain 5 minutes of silence, or light, or breath. Because clarity doesn't come from notifications. It comes from space. Let me ask you this. When was the last time you started your day without food, just a cup of coffee, maybe two, and didn't think twice about it? It happens all the time. You wake up, you don't feel hungry. Coffee seems faster, easier. You'll eat later. But what if I told you that skipping breakfast, especially after 60, doesn't just leave you tired? It quietly strains your brain, your heart, and your blood vessels. Here's why. During the night, your body burns through glucose to maintain brain activity. By morning, your reserves are low. If you don't eat, your blood sugar drops. And when that happens, your brain signals stress. Cortisol rises. Blood pressure tightens. Your vessels constrict. And instead of easing into the day, your system shifts into a low-fuel, high-alert state. Now imagine pouring caffeine on top of that. Coffee stimulates adrenaline. It increases heart rate. It sharpens alertness. Yes, but without food to buffer it, it creates a kind of false emergency. Your body thinks it's under threat. Your brain speeds up. Your arteries squeeze. And if you're already managing hypertension or vascular stiffness, that small daily choice, it builds pressure over time. We call it just skipping breakfast. But in truth, it's skipping stability. So, what's the alternative? Instead of starting your day with only coffee, give your brain a small dose of real fuel. It doesn't have to be a feast. It doesn't even have to be heavy. A soft boiled egg, a slice of avocado toast, A few bites of protein, some healthy fat, a little fiber, even a warm, mineral-rich broth, or an oat drink with cinnamon can send a message to your nervous system. You're nourished, you're steady, you're safe. You see, hunger in the morning isn't the enemy. Instability is. And after 60, stability is everything. It keeps your balance, your memory, your energy, your peace of mind. So the next time you think, I'll just have coffee and go, remember this. Instead of running on fumes, you could be running on strength. Now, let's talk about something that sounds healthy, but may actually be hurting you. Jumping into physical activity right after waking. You might think, isn't movement good? Shouldn't I start the day with energy? And yes, movement is good, but timing and intensity matter, especially after 60. Here's what most people don't realize. When you first wake up, your body is still in a restorative rhythm. Your heart is slower, blood pressure is lower, your joints are stiffer, your circulation is still adjusting. And if you go from 0 to 60, bending over, rushing into chores, climbing stairs, jumping into a shower too hot, your system doesn't have time to recalibrate. That sudden push, it can cause a spike in blood pressure, a strain on the heart, a moment where oxygen doesn't reach the brain fast enough. And that's when people feel dizzy, short of breath, off balance. Some call it just getting older. But often, it's a warning. Studies have shown that abrupt physical exertion after sleep can increase cardiovascular strain, especially in older adults with hypertension, stiff arteries, or circulation issues. The risk isn't in moving, it's in moving too fast, too soon. So, what's the better way? Instead of rushing into your routine, give your body a gentle warm-up. Start with 5 to 10 minutes of slow, steady mobility. Roll your shoulders, rotate your wrists, flex your ankles, take a few deep breaths. Let your muscles wake up before you ask them to lift or stretch or balance. It's not about doing less. It's about doing wisely. Think of your body like a car on a cold morning. You wouldn't slam the gas the moment you started. You'd warm the engine, check the mirrors, ease into the drive. Your body deserves the same respect. So tomorrow morning, before you bend to make the bed or reach to lift something heavy, ask yourself, has my circulation caught up? Because strength isn't just about force, it's about preparation. So let's take a step back. What do all 5 of these habits have in common? They seem small, harmless, automatic. And yet, each one, when done too quickly, too carelessly, or without awareness, can quietly increase the load on your heart, your vessels, and your brain. Skipping water, standing too fast, flooding your mind with noise, running on coffee, not food, pushing your body before it's ready. None of these habits feel dramatic, but over time, they create tension instead of flow. They create urgency where your body actually needs ease. That's why the real solution isn't complicated. It's not expensive. It's not even time-consuming. It's just this. Begin soft. Those 2 words might sound simple, but they hold incredible power. Because when you begin your day with softness, with water, with breath, with slow movements and space, you're telling your body, we're not in danger. We're steady. We're safe. And from that place of calm, your energy rises more naturally. Your blood flows more freely. Your mind becomes more clear. Your balance sharper. Your heart protected. So here's the sticky note I want you to leave by your bed. The message to see before your feet hit the floor. Begin soft, and you end strong. Because strength after 60 doesn't come from force. It comes from wisdom, from awareness, from choosing peace over pressure, especially in the first hour of your day. If today's episode stirred something in you, good. That means you're listening not just with your ears, but with your body. You see, stroke prevention isn't just about medication or machines or appointments. It's about mornings. It's about the quiet, often ignored choices you make before anyone else is even awake. And here's the good news. You don't have to change everything. You don't need a perfect routine. You just need one good decision, made early. Because small shifts, when made consistently, lead to powerful protection. So here's what I want you to do. Pick one thing from today. Just one. Maybe it's drinking that first glass of water. Maybe it's taking 5 seconds to sit before standing. Maybe it's leaving your phone face down for 10 more minutes. Whatever you choose, start tomorrow. And if this message helped you, I'll ask one more thing. Send it to someone you care about. A friend, a spouse, a parent, someone who's still rushing through mornings, not knowing the quiet damage those habits might be causing. Because knowledge protects, awareness heals, and sometimes the smallest conversations, like this one, create the biggest changes. So tomorrow, when you wake up, don't reach for the rush. Reach for peace. And remember, begin soft, and you end strong.